What you guys, today we're taking a look at how to resize the EFI System Partition to fix Windows 11 updates. So if you've got a partition that is 100 megabytes or 200 megabytes in size like this, and you've got a Dell or you've got a HP system and it's not allowing you to update because you're getting issues or errors, that's because the partition is too small. And we covered that in yesterday's video. So what is the EFI System Partition? The EFI Extendable Firmware Interface System Partition, ESP for short, is a small partition typically between 100 megabytes and 200 megabytes in size that is created during the Windows 11 installation on the UEFI based system. It stores essential boot files including your boot configuration data BCD, which are required to start Windows. The partition plays a critical role in Windows boot process and is necessary for the operating system to load correctly. So you can see right here, this is what we're dealing with right here. Let me just quickly eject this CD here so we can see just the actual partition itself. There we go. So we've got the whole disk 0 right here. We've got our C drive, we've got our healthy recovery partition, and we've also got our EFI partition. We're going to be using ASUS Partition Assistant Standard. This is a free version you can use, so download this if you want to extend your partition to a larger size so you can fix a lot of the issues. We can click skip at this part right here and we can move on with the installation. So let's go ahead and accept their agreement and we can now click on install now. So once we've done this, it's going to go ahead and install the application onto our PC. And what we're going to do then is we're going to use this program to be able to extend the EFI partition. You can either leave this check mark, but I'm going to uncheck it for this video and click enjoy now. You might see this little pop up here. You can just put don't show again and click on the cross and it will remove it. So here is our EFI partition. Why might you need to resize the EFI partition? Well, you may need to increase the size of your EFI system partition ESP if it does not have enough free space to support Windows updates or upgrades. Insufficient space in the ESP can prevent updates from completing successfully and may result in errors such as we couldn't update the system reserve partition or error codes like you see on the screen there during the Windows 11 upgrade or update process. And this problem has been happening with Dell PCs, HP PCs, and ASUS and many other manufacturers that are running out of space inside the EFI system partition. So can you resize the EFI system partition using Windows Disk Management? And the answer to that is no. Windows Disk Management does not provide an option to extend or resize the EFI system partition, ESP for short. To modify the system size of the ESP partition, you will need to use a third-party software partition management tool like we are using right here, such as ASUS Partition Assistant. That supports resizing system partitions, and that's what we're going to be using in this video. It's completely free, and I'll show you all of the steps you'll need to take to safely extend the EFI system partition. So is there any risk? Well, yes, there is a risk involved in resizing the EFI system partition. Resizing the partition involves a certain level of risk. It is advised to follow the instructions carefully and back up all your files to an external USB drive or device before proceeding with these changes. So let's go ahead and select our C drive right here, and we're going to resize the partition. You can see you can grab this little slider right here and this will allow you to resize it, but there's a little arrow right here which you want to click on, and this will show unallocated space before and allocated space after. So what we want to do here is we want to resize this to about 500 megabytes. Now you can either guess it by dragging this slider here, which takes a bit of time and it's a bit fiddly, or you can just type in the number right here on the unallocated space after, so you get a rough estimate of what you want to use. Depending on the size of your drive and how much storage space you have, 500 megabytes should be plenty. Make sure you check mark the I need to move this partition And what we're going to do is we're just going to go inside the box here and type in 500 megabytes. And that should be plenty of storage for the EFI partition. So here we have 500 megabytes in size. From here, we can now click OK. Make sure you got the settings exactly how I have them right here if you're following along. Now we got the size that we want to go into the center of the C drive right here. You'll see a cross there, and drag it to the right. And this will make it unallocated space before. And you can see right here, it's moved it over to this section right here. So now we have 583.11 megabytes. That's perfectly fine. And once you're happy with that, we can now click on OK. So click on OK, and this will confirm those changes. So now that's done, we next need to see the unallocated space has been created. And in the list, you can see it listed right here below Other and FAT32. Now we need to move this up the pecking order. So the next step is to click on Other, because this is 16 megabytes. And what we want to do is we want to move the unallocated space above that. So all you need to do here is select the Other on your list, which is 16 megabytes right here, which is our Microsoft reserved. And we're going to click on this, and we're going to go to Resize and Move Partition. Grab the little partition of 16 megabytes on the screen with your mouse, and then move it to the right hand side. You can see it right here. A cross should appear. So just click on it and hold the mouse button down and move it over. Now click OK, and that's exactly where we want this partition. If we click OK now, you'll see unallocated is moved above Other. So what we want to do now is we want to get FAT32 200 megabytes, and we're going to click on that option right here. So click on FAT32 200 megabytes or 100 megabytes or whatever one yours is that you want to expand. This is our EFI System Partition. Click on the Resize and Move Partition. So highlight it and go over to the right and click on that right there. And now what we need to do is expand this partition size. So just grab hold of the actual bar on the right hand side and extend it all the way across like so. You'll see double arrows right here. Extend this right across. And now you can see it's gone up to 775.58 megabytes. Click OK, and that's using our unallocated space that we created. And you can now see that we've now extended the size of our FAT32 EFI System Partition. It's now 775.58 megabytes. So now we've completed all of this, we're ready to move on to the next step, which is basically clicking on the Apply button, and this will apply our settings that we've just made. It's going to ask us to check partitions before execution. That's perfectly fine. And what we're going to do here is going to tell us we need a reboot on the system. That's pretty normal. And we're going to click Proceed. So let's go ahead and click Proceed here. And you may get some interaction that is needed like here. So that's fine. We're going to leave this as Restart into Windows PE mode. This is a Windows PE environment, pre-installed environment basically. And all we're going to do here is let that proceed. And it's probably going to need to do a restart. So we'll just let that speed up through here. And it's now going to restart the system. So let's go ahead and restart. Now on the restart, it's going to go into the Windows PE mode because we need to make the changes from that environment, because this is where we make changes to the EFI System Partition. And it's going to go ahead and do all of these changes right here. So we're going to let this do its thing. And when it's done, we can see that there was an error. It says, sorry, the current operation has been cancelled. Information code error 32. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to click OK here, and we're going to try it again, because now we're inside the Windows PE mode. It will probably go through properly. So let's go ahead and click OK here, and it's opened up the window again. So all I need to do here quickly is go back into Other and repeat the steps that I did before at the desktop. So we're going to click Other, which is our 16 megabyte partition, Resize and Move Partition. And now we drag this over to the right, click OK. And we're going to go into our FAT32 200 megabyte EFI System Partition. Click on Resize and Move Partition. We can drag the slider all the way across like so. Click OK. And now we can click on Apply. And this should now work. So let's go ahead and do that right here. Click Apply. And it's now going to proceed and do that what it did earlier on, which failed. Hopefully it goes through. So I'm going to say yes. And there we go. It's starting to go through. And the reason why is because we are in a pre-installed environment rather than at the desktop. So let's go ahead and do that right here. It says, congratulations, all the operations have been completed successfully. And click OK here. And if we look at the actual partitions, you can see the partition FAT32 has been extended to 775 megabytes. And we've also got other is still there. And the unallocated space has been used in our EFI System Partition. So we close the software off and we're now rebooting back to the desktop of Windows 11. And you can see here we're just booting back up. And again, hopefully now this has resolved the issue and we now have a larger EFI System Partition. So let's quickly go right click and disk management right here. And we can now extend this so we can see. And you can already see that the EFI System Partition has been made larger, up to 776 megabytes in size. That should be plenty of all your updates, and any issues should be eradicated now we've extended our EFI System Partition. That should be plenty of space. So if you have got a Dell or HP or ASUS laptop or PC and you're running into issues because the EFI System Partition is only 100 megabytes or 200 megabytes and you can't update, you might want to use this method and it should resolve all your problems. Anyway, but that said, my name has been Brian from briteccomputers.co.uk. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. This will try to get the channel to grow and get to 1 million subscribers. I just want to say a quick shout out all to my YouTube members. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for all the support, and I shall see you in the next video, or I'll catch you on the Discord server for a chat. Bye for now.